Hi, this is Joe Kwan, the Connection Counselor, and thanks for coming in to Executive Tune-Up, where we make small changes that can lead to a big boost in your performance. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the thing that we concentrate on or that we think we need to really improve our performance is not the thing that's most necessary at all? Where today we're going to talk about a common thing or attribute of leaders and high performers that's overlooked that can have an outsized impact on how productive, efficient, and effective you are. Stay tuned. So, today we're going to talk about your state of being and how your state of being can have sort of an invisible, quiet, or outsized impact all together as one on your performance. When we think about leading and performing well, we often think about the skills that we have, the even the relationships that we have with others, and those are both extremely important. However, they're external to us, right? They're external and we can see or feel them outside of us, and they involve others in the way we're performing. However, there's a very important aspect that often doesn't get enough evaluation, and that's your own state of being. Have you ever been in a situation where you just thought, there is no way that I'm going to be able to do this? And you despaired, maybe for an hour, maybe for a few days, until finally someone said something to you or something happened to you. And all of a sudden you perked up and you were like, you know what? I can do this. And in fact, you went ahead and you did it, despite the fact that maybe 24, 48, 36 hours ago, the skies were so dark, it was so bleak, and there was just no way you were going to be able to perform at the level you were expected to. So what really changed there, right? Did you become any smarter during that time? Did you get access to more resources or more funds? Not even necessary. Just simply changing that state of being can have an outsized impact on your performance. And the metaphor that I like to use is, and I love to do this sometimes in the summer when I'm outside with my son. And my wife will lay down on the grass, and we'll see the clouds floating through in the sky, and we'll each name what we see, the shape in the sky, what it resembles. And this one for me, when I look at it right now, it kind of looks like a hippo, right? Maybe you see something else. So actually, I'm kind of curious. Whatever you see, I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me see what you see in this cloud. For me, it just happens to be a hippo. Well, no matter what you see when the cloud is moving by, and I love it when the clouds move quickly by. It's just something magical about it. No matter what you see, it's going to change, right? So that hippo is going to change to a tiger, is going to change to, I don't know, a hat. It's always moving and changing. And our states of being are like that. And thank goodness, right? Can you imagine if you were just, ridiculously happy all the time or ridiculously sad all the time? That would be really, really weird and probably not good for us in terms of our health. So what we're going to talk about today is 3 aspects of taking more control of your state of being, understanding the principles of what may impact your state of being. So if you are in a state of being that you want to sort of nudge out of, there's certain things you can do instead of just waiting for it to change in and of itself. Now, of course, if you find yourself, feeling in a really strong state of being, which is not so great for a long period of time, definitely talk to someone who you trust, or even a doctor or medical professional. What we're talking about today is just, kind of the normal ups and downs that we all go through in the life. Certainly not something more serious than that. So the first thing I want to talk about that can impact and change your state of being are the various senses we have, right? It's really amazing, like even just going from sitting down to standing up and seeing things something differently and sensing the elevation. It might be a food. You have a drink of something, or you have a piece of chocolate or ice cream or a fresh piece of fruit, whatever, pick your poison. refreshing drink or a coffee or a tea, and all of a sudden you feel like a brand new person, right? So our senses are very powerful in impacting our state of being, and there's no reason we need to wait around for something to be sensed, right? If maybe the lighting is impacting you in a certain way, turn on a light or open a window or close a window, right? It could be the feeling you have on your skin, right? So maybe you're cold, you put on a scarf, or maybe you're hot, you put on a t-shirt. Even the texture of things on your skin can have an impact. Maybe it's too scratchy or it's too smooth. Any sort of change to your senses can have an immediately and surprisingly strong impact on our state of being, and it can actually be somewhat immediate as well. So never underestimate the ability of what you're sensing to change your state of being and your power to impact that. You don't have to wait around for something to change by itself. Similarly, how you feel can impact your state of being. So what I mean by how you feel is what are you feeling about in this moment at all, right? So how might that change? You might put on a song that makes you feel like you're young again or feel a really good feeling. It could be like the song that you danced with your dad or your mom for your wedding. It could be something that an object, right, that you have from a souvenir from a great vacation or a great trip, a business trip that you took, where when you see embodied in that object is a whole bunch of good feelings, hopefully good feelings, and that can sort of be a portal and transport you to that feeling. So that's another way that we don't necessarily need to wait around and be subject to our feelings. We can actually manage and help control them as well. Other things could be music, like a song can make you feel something. Now there's some overlap with the senses as well, but for this I want to focus on how that thing that you're sensing or intaking or observing is actually generating a specific feeling that you expect or are wanting to have, and how you can shift that way. And the third and final thing I want to talk about, which deals with changing your state of being, is what you're thinking of, right? And so there's a couple ways you can approach this. So I love the word rumination, right? Ruminate, and I am like a master ruminator. I mean, I can spend so much time thinking about the silliest thing or even the most serious thing. I can spend way more time than I really need to or is helpful for anyone to think about something. And ruminate, like, you picture like a cow, like chewing on cud over and over and over and over again. Not really necessarily what you want to do all the time with certain thoughts. So sometimes just thinking about something different can help. So one way we can approach this is, instead of thinking, to move into action, right? So if you're ruminating about something and you're constantly thinking about it, it becomes difficult to think really hard about something when you're hurtling down a mountain on a mountain bike, or you're even if you go outside and maybe you have like a little curb and you're like walking on the curb pretending like you're a gymnast, trying to balance on the balance beam and really trying to keep your balance. Those actions and concentrating on that can immediately take you away perhaps from some of the negative or not so helpful thoughts you may be having. Now you can also be more direct, and you can think about something else, right? You can think about something that will put you in a better frame of mind. It could be a former success. It could be something that you're looking forward to. It could be anything other than the thought that is kind of wrapping you into this state of being that you're trying to shift out of. So we do really have a lot of control over what we want to think about, right? Thoughts come into our head, but we can also put thoughts into our head intentionally. And we have a lot of control and impact on our state of being based on what we're thinking of, not just how we're thinking of it. And that's also something you can do. The lens that you put on it can also have an impact on what you're doing. So these are 3 ways that you can change your state of being, right? what you sense can change your state of being, what you feel can change your state of being, and what you think can change your state of being. And the key for enhanced performance is, when you're in a state of being which is not really going to be advantageous for your performance, you want to be able to take some control and shift out of that into something neutral, so then you can shift into positive, or if possible, to shift into positive more directly. Well, thanks so much for coming in to Executive Tune-Up. My name is Joe Kwan, the Connection Counselor. Remember, to do your best, you have to be at your best. So tune in to Tune Up.